Shaq was the dominant force. So those three championships that he got, he wasn't the lead dog yet. We know who Robin is in this instance, right? So his 5 rings is still Robin rings.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, back again. Marlo knows basketball and Marlo knows boxing. Back at y'all with another one. Man, once again, I gotta come back on here and debunk the lies and revisionist history that people continue to try to spread about the late great Kobe Bryant. It has been 5 years now since the late great Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi tragically passed in the helicopter crash, and you know, people still keep trying to throw dirt on his name and do revisionist history and discredit Kobe's career. And I just can't let it ride, man. So we got to debunk it once again. You know, when people say that Kobe was a Robin to Shaq's Batman, there's only 1 year where you can really say that. There's only one championship year where you can say that, and that was the first year that they won the championship in 2000. And that's the only year that you can even make that argument. Every year after that, 2001, 2002, and then 2003 and 4, even though they didn't win the championships, you can't make that argument. And I will go so far as to say in 2001, Kobe was the Lakers' best player, not Shaq. I sat back for years and watched people lie and say that Kobe was Robin to Shaq's Batman during that three-peat. And they don't say just the year 2000. They say 2001 and 2002 as well, when Kobe was clearly a bona fide superstar, top 5 player in the league at worst. He wasn't no Robin. And they degrade his contribution to those championships like he was just a role player. And then I got to thinking, I vividly remember being in middle school during the 2000-2001 season, and I remember Kobe going off during that season and doing more than Shaq. So that got me to thinking. So I started doing some research. What do the actual numbers say? And when I did the research, Kobe was the best player for the Lakers during the 2000-2001 season and playoffs. Shaq was only better in the finals. I'm not saying that Kobe was by far the Lakers' best player, but he was their best player. Shaq was amazing too, don't get me wrong. Shaq was great too. I think both players that season were top 3. I think it was Kobe, Shaq, and Tim Duncan who were the top 3 players in the league. But Kobe was number 1. Shaq was number 2. And we can start with the regular season. Again, it's close, but Kobe was the Lakers' best player during the regular season for the 2000-2001 season. Kobe averaged the same amount of points as Shaq, and he led the Lakers in assists and steals. And for those people that's going to try to bring up Derek Fisher, do not bring up Derek Fisher. He played 20 games. That does not count. Kobe led the Lakers in steals and assists, and it was tied in points. Shaq led in blocks and rebounds. Again, it's very close. I will give Shaq credit. He was more efficient. Shaq had a true shooting percentage of 57% during the 2000-2001 season. Kobe Bryant had a true shooting percentage of 55%. So Shaq was more efficient. However, Shaq had 218 turnovers. Kobe had 220 turnovers. So Kobe had 2 more turnovers than Shaq. But when you look at assists, Kobe had 61 more assists than Shaq. Kobe only had 2 more turnovers, but 61 more assists. Shaq's turning the ball over, but not getting any assists for it. So that evens it up as far as efficiency on the scoring side because Shaq's turning the ball over basically just as much as Kobe, and Kobe's getting you way more assists. Now, for those people that say Kobe's a guard, he's supposed to give you more assists, I don't want to hear that, because what I'm watching from Nikola Jokic right now, he's the best passer in the league, and he's a center. So I don't want to hear it. What this means to me, that evens it up, the fact that Shaq was more efficient than Kobe by 2 percentage points, because he was turning the ball over without assisting on the level that Kobe was. So that evens it up. So when it comes to the regular season for the 2000-2001 season, I got Kobe and Shaq as a deadlock tie. Now, where the tiebreaker comes in is when you get to the playoffs, the most important part of the season. And like I said, Shaq was only better than Kobe in the NBA Finals. There is 4 playoff series, not 1. For all the people that say, well, Shaq got 3 Finals MVPs. Shaq got the Finals MVP, so he had to be the best player. No. There's 4 playoff series during a playoff run, not 1. Let's take a look at what the Lakers did in the first round against Portland. Kobe averaged 25 points a game. Shaq averaged 27. So Shaq averaged 2 more points a game. 2 more points a game. But we got to look at the turnovers. Shaq had more turnovers than Kobe. More turnovers. Despite the fact that Kobe had 15 more assists during that series. You know, of course, Shaq did have more rebounds, so that swings it back in Shaq's favor. But what swings it back in Kobe's favor, for all the people that love to crap on Kobe, to talk down on Kobe and say he's trash and he wasn't that great of a player because he wasn't efficient. In the first round against Portland in 2001, in the first round of the playoffs, Kobe was 4 percentage points more efficient than Shaq. He was way more efficient than Shaq. Again, way more efficient. So that swings it back in Kobe's favor. So what that's showing me is Kobe was the best player on the Lakers during that first round against Portland. He's giving you only 2 less points a game. He's by far the Lakers' best playmaker. Shaq's giving you the most turnovers a game. And Kobe's the most efficient scorer, despite only giving you 2 less points a game. Again, Kobe's giving you 27. Shaq's giving you 27 points a game. Kobe's giving you 25. Now, we move on to the next series, round 2. Against the Sacramento Kings. Kobe Bryant was giving you 35 points a game. 35 points a game. And once again, led the team in assists. He gave you 1 more turnover. He committed 1 more turnover than Shaq. He had 16, Shaq had 15. But he gave you 8 more assists. So he's by far the better playmaker. And he's turning over the ball almost the same exact amount as Shaq, but giving you way more assists. Shaq was amazing in that series as well, giving you 33 points a game. With the closest of margins, we got to once again look at efficiency. People love to say that Kobe was not efficient. He was just a ball-hogging shot chucker, an inefficient ball hog is what they say. But once again, Kobe's 58% true shooting. Shaq's is also 58%. So you got to give the nod once again to Kobe, giving you the most points per game. He's just as efficient as Shaq while scoring more points, while giving you way more assists with basically the same amount of turnovers. And then when you take a look at who was guarding Shaq, Shaq's bullying Vlade Divac the whole series. And then you ask, well, who was guarding Kobe? Kobe's being guarded by Doug Christie, who this year was the best defensive guard in the NBA. And it wasn't even close. And for those haters that try to lie, that would try to lie and say that Doug Christie was not the best perimeter defender in the NBA, in the 2000-2001 season, real, read it and weep. Doug Christie was 4th in Defensive Player of the Year voting in the 2000-2001 season. 4th. There was no other perimeter player in the top 8 other than Bruce Bowen, who came in at 8th. And the next season in 2002, Kobe led the Lakers against the Spurs, led the Lakers in scoring against the Spurs, and went up against Bruce Bowen the next year and dominated him. So Kobe was doing this against the best defense in the league, had the best defensive guard, best defensive perimeter player in the league guarding him. Again, one of only 2 perimeter players that finished in the top 8 in Defensive Player of the Year voting. Doug Christie, again, finished 4th in Defensive Player of the Year voting. And Kobe dropped 35 on him a game. While Shaq was also great, but Kobe was clearly better. Then, of course, we move on to the Western Conference Finals against the San Antonio Spurs, where Kobe again dominates, giving you 33 points a game. Again, leading the team in assists and steals. And once again, he's committing less turnovers than Shaq. Shaq had 14, Kobe had 11, while giving you way more assists. Kobe 28 assists in the series, Shaq only 10. And then you ask, once again, Kobe haters, once again, well, I know Kobe wasn't efficient. I know he wasn't efficient. Shaq was the more efficient scorer. Even though he gave you less points, Kobe's just a ball hog, just chucking up shots and missing. He's probably shooting 50 shots a game on low efficiency, right? Wrong again. Kobe, true shooting percentage, 57%. Shaq, 54%. So not only is he giving you more points a game again, he's doing it on better efficiency. He's more efficient. So where's the argument? Kobe was better throughout the whole Western Conference playoffs than Shaq. And better against the San Antonio Spurs, who were the best team in the league that year. Won 61 games. Anybody that watched basketball during the early 2000s, they knew that the Western Conference Finals was the NBA Finals. Whoever won that series was going to easily beat whoever came out of the East. The Sixers were not a threat to the Lakers. The Lakers were afraid of the Spurs. The last time the Lakers played the Spurs was in 1999 before this. They either got swept or they lost in 5 games. I just know that they were dominated. So the Lakers, this is who they were afraid of. They were afraid of the Spurs. They weren't afraid of the Sixers. And who got them past the Spurs? Who was their best player? Kobe was by far. He was the best player throughout the whole Western Conference playoffs. That's 3 series out of the 4. When a team wins a championship, they play 4 playoff series. The finals is just one of them. Yes, Shaq was better in the finals. Kobe was better in the other 3 playoff series. If they had a conference MVP like they do now, an Eastern Conference MVP and a Western Conference MVP like they do now, which of course Luka won it last year, it would have been Kobe Bryant who won that award in 2001, not Shaq. Again, Kobe in 2001 for the 2001 championship was the Lakers' best player. I'm going to keep saying it. Shaq, during the 2000-2001 season, during the 2001 championship, he was only better than Kobe in the finals. When you look at the first 3 playoff series, the entire Western Conference playoffs, round 1, round 2, round 3, Kobe averaged 31.1 points a game. Shaq averaged 29.1 points a game. Kobe was leading the Lakers for the first 3 playoff series. He led the Lakers for 3 out of 4 of the playoff series during that championship run. And once again, I'm going to keep throwing it in you haters' faces. They love to bring up efficiency when talking about Kobe being Bryant. Kobe, again, for 3 out of the 4 playoff series, was again scoring more points. Not only scoring more points, but he was also more efficient than Shaq was. Again, round 1, round 2, round 3 of the 2001 playoffs, Kobe's scoring on a 57% efficiency, a 57% true shooting percentage. Shaq was 55. So he was more efficient than Shaq and scoring more points. He was the Lakers' best player. Shaq was only better in the finals. And then the argument that the haters would try to bring up, which Gilbert Arenas tried to bring up, shout out to Scap Attack, when Scap Attack shut him down, Gilbert Arenas tried to make up an excuse, which I've heard this excuse before by Kobe haters, that say, well, Shaq was being double and triple teamed, so it was easy for Kobe to get off. He got to play one-on-one. The teams were focused on Shaq. Well, let's look at what Kobe did in his playoff runs after Shaq left. In 2006, he averaged 27.9 points a game. In the 2007 playoffs, Kobe averaged 32.8 points a game. In the 2008 playoffs, Kobe averaged 30 points a game. It's because of Shaq, though. It's because of Shaq. But he's doing the same thing that he did with Shaq on the team, with Shaq off the team. In the 2009 playoffs, Kobe's averaging 30 points a game again, but it's because of Shaq, though. It's because of Shaq. Shaq was drawing those double teams and triple teams. That's the only reason Kobe was getting off like that. Pause. In the 2010 playoffs, Kobe averaged 29 points a game. You know, thanks to Shaq. Thanks to the team, triple team and Shaq, Kobe was able to put up those great numbers. Yeah, it's because of Shaq. But he did the same thing with Shaq off the team that he did with Shaq on the team. But it's because of the double teams and triple teams that Shaq was getting. Man, get out of here. But at the end of the day, bottom line is they stay trying to diminish Kobe, diminish his career, and hate on him for some reason. The only argument they have is the 2000 season, or the 99-2000 season. For that year 2000 championship, yes, Kobe was a Robin during that championship. I will admit that. Shaq was by far the best player on the team, and Kobe was just coming into his own. So yeah, you can make that argument. Kobe was still an All-NBA player. He's still second-team All-NBA, first-team All-NBA defense in the year 2000. So he was still a superstar in the NBA. But in 2001, Kobe became the Lakers' best player, better than Shaq. It's sad that we have to defend Kobe like this, man. We shouldn't even have to do it. He won 5 championships. And people try to diminish 3 of his rings like they don't count. But they don't do that to Magic and Kareem. And not only did Magic and Kareem have each other, they had a whole nother top 75 player in James Worthy for the majority of those 5 championships. They had a whole nother top 75 player in James Worthy. But nobody ever talks down on Magic or Kareem or try to diminish what they did. I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wasn't even an All-NBA player for his last 2 championships. But nobody diminishes any of his rings. They just say he has 6 rings. And the one ring that he won without Magic, he had another all-time great guard playing with him in Oscar Robertson, the Big O. But nobody diminishes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's rings. They just say he has 6 rings. They don't say anything about the fact that he only has 2 Finals MVPs out of the 6 rings. They just say he has 6 rings. They don't say anything about him needing not only 1, but 2 top 75 players to win half his championships. They don't say anything about Magic needing 2 top 75 players on his team, 2 top 75 teammates to win more than half of his championships. They just say he has 5 championships. They don't do that to them. For some reason, Kobe has to be judged by harsher rules than everybody else. Magic and Kareem, they're just made men. And most lists or most media personnel, I don't see this from most players, but most media personalities, I see them rank Magic and Kareem over Kobe. They don't bring up, oh well, they had each other for the majority, for all of their rings, or they don't bring up the fact that Magic had Kareem for all of his rings and Worthy for the majority of his rings, 2 top 75 players. It doesn't count against them for some reason. They just try to count it against Kobe. And then they do revisionist history like Kobe was out there scoring, averaging 10 points a game playing with Shaq. Like he was really being carried, man. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. But the majority of people that I see it from are people that, love LeBron James. And they have to diminish Kobe because they want to make it seem like LeBron was the best player in the league from 2006 on. If you acknowledge that Kobe was what he was, then you have to acknowledge that Kobe owned the late 2000s. He owned the late 2000s and was clearly the best player during the late 2000s, and it was unquestioned. But they want to push LeBron up and make him the best player earlier than what he was, earlier than when he became the best player. LeBron didn't become the best player until the 2010s. And he became the best player, the exact year when he became the best player was probably 2012 when he won his first championship. That's when he was the best player. Up until then, it was Kobe Bryant. But people like Nick Wright, they will continue to try to push these lies and revisionist history. But they can't cover up history and do revisionist history. Kobe Bryant's contribution to those first 3 championships is noted. The numbers back it up. Shout out to Shaq because in 2001 he told the truth. He told the truth just like I did in this video. During the 2001 Lakers championship run, Kobe was the Lakers' best player. And I know y'all tired of hearing me say it. Listen to the Diesel himself. Listen to Shaq himself tell you.
I told Kobe today he was my idol. He was playing phenomenal. The mark of a great player is how you make your other players around you play. I now can truly say that Kobe Bryant is the best player in this league. I told Kobe today he was my idol. He was playing phenomenal. The mark of a great player is how you make your other players around you play. I now can truly say that Kobe Bryant is the best player in this league. I now can truly say that Kobe Bryant is the best player in this league.